We're looking for a winter storm that's really going to pack a punch. This is an ugly one, and it'll take us off into tomorrow evening as well. I'll go over all the possibilities and timing coming up.
We'll tell you how Lexington's finest streets and road crews are staying positive and staying motivated to get in front of this winter weather beast.
Snow shovels and salt, two things that are in high demand as people prepare for another round of winter weather.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at Noon.
Good afternoon on a historic Friday in the Commonwealth. From WKYT News, I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. It's another bitterly cold day here in the Bluegrass with temperatures dipping well below zero this morning. Setting a lot of records. We're going to get a bit of a warm-up heading into the weekend, but it comes with a new system that could bring more snow, potentially freezing rain as well. WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris is tracking the threat now on the First Alert Defender.
Boy, this has been a long week, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. Current temperatures were sitting there in the single digits and also teens down south. Reason why you have teens down south, and now you're starting to get some of that warmer air flying in here from the southern zones and moving northbound along with this cloud deck. Now, you remember on Monday, a cloud deck, I got several pictures of that just moving right on top of us. This is exactly the same thing. You're getting that cloud deck moving over you, and it's coming in association with this storm system down toward the south and southwest of us. Now, as of right now, it does not look impressive whatsoever, but as the time goes along, off into the night and into tomorrow, it really starts to increase as that low pressure system just glides right over us, and that's not good news for us because it'll bring a lot of moisture along with it. Go off into the night, I would say probably around 10 p.m., maybe 9 p.m. to about midnight. That's probably the start of this. This is the onset of this. Now, as we get into the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning, that's when the heavy snow starts to pick up. So it starts with that snow and that wintry mix, and we'll have it for tomorrow morning. I think tomorrow morning is the nastiest portion of this storm. Off into the afternoon, you'll see that snow and that wintry mix kind of switch over to some rain. Now, I'll really go into further detail coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, we'll see you with all the details shortly.
Well, crews are bracing for another potential round of winter weather. They've been working around the clock all week long, salting, plowing, fielding concerns over road conditions.
It's been a rough week for sure. WKYT's Rebecca Smith has a look at how they're maintaining this constant work pace. She continues our top story team coverage of this Arctic blast at noon.
Right now, Lexington street and road crews are primarily out in the neighborhoods. They are salting, they are plowing, they are trying to get ahead of whatever may end up happening this weekend. Since midnight Monday, trucks like these have been loaded, unloaded. Streets have been salted and plowed, and the city of Lexington's road crews have been stretched to the limits. With bitter cold today and another round of potential winter weather upon us this weekend, Supervisor Albert Miller says it actually hasn't been too difficult to keep his fellow workers motivated.
They really enjoy what they do, and they feel like that they are very well needed by our community, and that the stuff that they're doing really helps our community, and be it a business or whatever, and we're out there to serve, and that's what we're trying to do.
Again, streets and road crews are still on that 12-hour shift, and they are just waiting and watching the weather report to see what's going to happen this weekend, but they say they are prepared for whatever Mother Nature may bring. In Lexington, Rebecca Smith, WKYT.
Rebecca, thank you. Streets and Roads has also received a shipment of more than 1,200 tons of salt, and now they're mixing it with fine gravel to help with traction on the roads in these bitterly cold temperatures.
Well, the frigid temperatures made for an especially tough morning to be without power, but hundreds of people across the state found themselves waking up in the cold and dark without electricity. Richmond was one of the hardest hit areas. WKYT's Victor Puente is in Madison County with reaction from a mother who says the outage was particularly hard on her daughter.
The biggest outages here in Richmond were centered along North and South Keeneland Drive. The power went out just as thousands of people were waking up. The Super Saver food stores were one of many businesses having to turn customers away because they don't have electricity. The manager there tells me the power went out around 8 this morning. That falls in line with what a Kentucky utility spokesperson told me yesterday. He said most outages they see in the winter happen in the morning when everyone starts turning on their lights and turning up their heat. He said it's sometimes too much for their system to handle. Almost 2,000 homes and businesses in Richmond lost power, but it was restored to North Keeneland around 10 a.m. One mother who lives off that road told me she was worried about her daughter, not just because of the cold.
She requires oxygen at night, and she was still asleep when the power went out, so I didn't have a way to power her oxygen machine, so it was frightening for her because, you know, she needs that. So.
The power at the Shop and Save came back on around 11:30. The manager there told me if it didn't come back on, their biggest fear wasn't any of their food spoiling, it was their vegetables freezing. In Madison County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Victor, thank you. And Kentucky Utilities says the dryer and oven are the two biggest energy drains and are asking people to refrain from using them in the morning.
With another round of wintry weather on the way, you can expect stores to be packed once again going into the weekend, but many of them are out of supplies of things like shovels and salt, and they're working to try to restock the shelves. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel continuing our team coverage now of this Arctic blast. Whitney.
Snow shovels and ice melt are two things that are in high demand but hard to find. While this hardware store in Chevy Chase just got a new shipment of those items in this morning, and they're already flying off the shelves. Business is booming at Chevy Chase Hardware this week thanks to record cold temperatures and several inches of snow.
Well, we've got a roof that the water kind of will leak down a little bit, and then it freezes on the way down, and we've got about 4 inches of ice at our back door that I am now going to bust off so we can get the door open and people can eat.
Many people are shopping around for supplies again today in preparation for possible freezing rain, ice, and snow that's expected to hit this weekend.
I had a plastic shovel and it broke. I called Lowe's and some of the other places, Myers. They were out, and they said they were getting a shipment in this morning. So I said, well, let me get over here before I even get to work.
Chevy Chase Hardware received 4,800 pounds of ice melt, 200 shovels, heat tape, sleds, and more heaters this morning. The store's owner placed an order for the items after they ran out of supplies on Tuesday.
Hundreds of phone calls the last few days. There was a group of cars waiting for us to open at 8 o'clock to come in and get shovels. We'll probably be out of everything again by tomorrow sometime.
Now, the store's owner tells us that had he known earlier in the week that shovels would still be flying off the shelves today, he would have tripled that order. In Lexington, Whitney Wetzel, WKYT.
Whitney, thank you very much. The hardware store's owner says up until this week, business had been slow this winter, but all this bad weather gave them an extra boost in sales.
Well, we're certainly not alone in dealing with this Arctic blast. Millions of Americans woke up to another blast of dangerously cold weather. In many places, temperatures have not risen above freezing all week. Brian Webb has the latest now from New York.
There is no escaping the brutal cold sweeping across just about every state east of the Mississippi River.
I'm 55 years old. I never felt a February like this in my life.
The temperature dipped to 2 degrees Friday morning in New York City, a record low for this date. Wind chills hit 19 below.
I've been here in the snow time and in blizzard 94. I've been in a lot of blizzard, but this one, I never see cold like this.
And it is the same frozen forecast for millions.
In the eastern half of the U.S., we're running at least 20 degrees below normal. I'm talking from Maine all the way down to Florida.
It is so cold in Boston, a giant 6-story icicle formed on a building. And in Philadelphia, the city's 311 call center has been flooded with complaints from residents without heat. Normally, Times Square would be teeming with tourists, but only the bravest are taking in the sights on this bitter cold day in Manhattan.
It really is cold. First time in New York, and I'll come back in the summer.
More bad weather is forecast for the south. In Nashville, crews are cleaning up from snow earlier this week, and they're trying to stay ahead of the next storm. Brian Webb for CBS News, New York.
Now, across Tennessee, the winter weather is already blamed for at least 11 deaths, several from hypothermia. Another snowstorm is headed for the Northeast Saturday. Then temperatures are expected to turn milder on Sunday. Well, you can always track severe weather when you're away from your TV with WKYT.com and the WKYT First Alert Defender Radar app for your iPad or smartphone. And be sure to help us track the snow as well. Send us your photos and videos using the hashtag WKYT Rules Winter. Well, the current conditions may not exactly inspire thoughts of taking a dip.
Jumping in cold water? No,
not appealing, but
that is exactly what dozens of people have planned this weekend, all for a good cause. The annual Polar Bear Plunge is set to take place tomorrow morning at Texas Roadhouse on Richmond Road. Dozens will be jumping into the pool to help raise money to support the Special Olympics, and the first polar bears will hit the water about 11:30 tomorrow. It's the 16th year for the event, and they do say that there's a scared bear area for those who want to just come watch.